UFC Vegas 111, One Championship, and LFA are all this weekend, and today, guys, I have the complete betting guide with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with many YouTube channels. Today, we are going to be talking about the channel betting recap, confident picks, underdog opportunities, fights that I believe you should not be betting on, my personal lock of the week, and then which I'm very interested in what you guys think about that. And then we're going to close things off with a more unstructured part of the video, that being looking for any props or fun parlays that we can make. Like I said, timestamps are there if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Let's start off with the channel betting recap. I'm happy to report, guys, we clean sweeped it. We have a fun parlay I throw $5 at every single week, that just for a little bit more entertainment value, to have some fun watching the card. We had both Dante Johnson and Alan Nascimento to get the job done. And then for our only official play for the week, we had one single bet on Steve Garcia. I liked Steve Garcia a lot in that matchup. I talked about how I think his pressure would have gotten to Onama, and he was just going to stalk him the whole time and maybe find a finish. I honestly thought Onama would last longer than he did, but the fight concluded exactly as I expected it to be. So, guys, if you are interested in either supporting the channel or seeing what I'm betting on each week, you can check out the channel membership in the pinned comment description down below, or right next to the subscribe button, which is very cheap compared to other channels. Every single Friday or Saturday morning, depending on whether or not I like to bet on any Friday fights, because I am primarily a UFC bettor. That's what I'm going to have out every weekend for sure. I will be posting a community members post along with a members only video explaining exactly what I'm doing with my money. So if you either want to support the channel, combine my fight knowledge with your own research, you can do any of that. Again, very cheap compared to other channels. Check it out, and thank you so much for the support, guys. Let's get into the video with the confident picks. So I'm still interested in what you guys think about lock of the week, okay? Now, we already have a full card breakdown out for those of you who are new to the channel, diving into these fights as deep as we could possibly get. These are more of a little bit of a recap of some of the fights, okay? The first confident pick I have for you is going to be Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Mayra Beno Silva has not been the same since off the PEDs. She has been getting dummied by some of these fighters. Her only good loss being the Jasmine Jastovicius. And other than that, she has not been looking good since that. Jacqueline Cavalcanti is in her prime. While she's not the greatest fighter under the sun, there is a clear step above in the competition with WMMA when it comes to where Jacqueline is at and Mayra Bueno Silva. So I think we're going to see 3 rounds of Jacqueline doing what she typically does, punching, circling, getting out of the way. She's just going to flat out outstrike Mayra Bueno Silva. Let's continue on over to the next confident pick, and that's going to be Adrian Yanez. I like him in this particular matchup, which I believe Christian Quinones, which he typically does, he's going to come in, he's going to try to push the pace, bring the war. I think that Yanez can handle anything that Christian will bring to the table, and I think that Yanez will be able to kind of like, I'm not saying that he'll find a KO, which is possible, but I could see him like having more technique, sniping him through everything that Christian Quinones wants to do. He's also been adding some sneaky kicks to his game, and I think he's really developing as a fighter, and I know that he's coming off of a loss to Daniel Marcos, but I still thought that he showed like phenomenal technique in that fight. It was a split decision. A lot of people thought that Adrian Yanez won that fight, myself included. I think he's on a roll, and I think he still is a promising contender, and I think he's going to get by Christian Quinones in this bout. Let's continue on to the next confident pick, and we are going to be circling over to One Championship for this one. It's going to be Luke Lessie. Luke Lessie has been on an absolute roll in One Championship. This guy has been dragging people through dirty, technical, brutal wars. The guy has all of the technique in the world when it comes to Muay Thai, and he's fighting Nico Carrillo, who is a good fighter, but hasn't nearly shown, in my opinion, the level that we've seen from Luke Lessie. I love watching this fight, and for good reason. He's consistently having very good performances. He is showing amazing technique, and I like him a lot in this matchup over here, so I'm confident that Luke Lessie will get the job done. And finally, with our last confident pick, let's circle over to the LFA, and keep in mind, guys, this is, out of all the confident picks, my least confident pick, and it's more so because we still haven't seen, and it's going to be, Reginaldo Jr., we still haven't seen him face anybody of significance, okay? He's taken on Natan Mota, who he's been a little bit inconsistent, and for both guys, the competition level hasn't exactly been that great. It's more so of Reginaldo Jr. He has been training with some great guys. I know that everybody is off the Fighting Nerds train right now, but there is no doubt in my mind that those guys are doing something completely correct over there at the Fighting Nerds, and the Beast has been showing it. He's been coming in, and he has been just killing people. He's been showing that same kind of like Fighting Nerd spirit that we typically see. I more so like him for that reason, but again, if you look at the opponents, they're really, oh my god, my mouse just died. Sorry about that, guys. I had to go get new batteries over there. But anyways, the competition of Junior has not been that great. That's the problem. But still, the thing is, he's been looking really good throughout his career so far. He's training with some really great guys at a really great gym, and that's why he still is a confident pick of mine. It's just not something that I don't think I would really look into placing a bet. It's just a pick that I like. Let's continue on to the next section of the video, guys, that being Underdog Opportunities. These are not fights that I'm going to be betting on. It's just, if you're looking for underdog value, I could very well see these fights having an upset. And the first one's going to be Tisha Pennington. I think it's crazy that Tisha Pennington is as much as an underdog as she has right now. Denise Gomez, she rarely wows me. She's a good fighter. She's only 26 years old. She's not even in her prime yet. I think she's going to have a great career ahead of her. But how many times have we seen Tisha Pennington kind of just like come in with her PEDs, being stronger than everybody, going in, winging punches, missing half of them, but she's still pressuring throughout and landing just a little bit more? I see a world where Tisha Pennington wins that way, and Denise Gomez hasn't faced anybody like Tisha Pennington like that, and the size is going to be a little bit similar because I know Tisha's a pretty small fighter. Denise is too. I don't think that's someone who should be counting out, and I think that Tisha Pennington's definitely an underdog opportunity. And the next underdog opportunity, guys, is going to be Muslim Salikov. This one is one that I wouldn't bet on. At least like Tisha Pennington, I'd be like, you know what, maybe. I just still think Uros Medic is going to get the job done. But Muslim Salikov, at 41 years old, has been starching, guys. He's been looking great. I know there's a little bit with the Santiago Ponzinibbio fight. He still did get the job done there, but he came in, knocked out Kenan Song and knocked out Carlos Leal, and these were like spectacular, hard-hitting performances. He could very well finish Uros Medic, who hasn't exactly like lived up to the contender that he was supposed to be. I'm just saying it could happen, okay? It's another underdog opportunity for you. But now, guys, let's continue on to a couple fights that I believe that you should not be betting on. The first one's going to be Jamal Emmers, versus Haider Emil. Now, for this one, because you have two really tough guys, I don't mind the idea of a 1.5 depending on what the line would be. I'd still stay away from this one, too. It's two very good fighters, and the odds, even on Tapology, I'm not familiar with what they're with on OddsJam or Betway right now, which is what we're going to be taking a look at. OddsJam has them at a pick'em. I don't know what's going to happen in this fight. It is very tough to call. Plus, on top of that, you have to worry about Haider Emil and the way that he got finished against Jose Delgado just 4 months ago. Sometimes guys come back too early. Sometimes people, their chin isn't the same, and Haider Emil took a little bit of damage in that fight. For that reason, I don't think we should really be betting on this fight. Let's continue on over to the next fight, which I almost included this in underdog opportunity because I believe this is a 50-50 fight, but I just don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be Marco Tulio versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Why is Marco a sizable favorite over here? I think that CLD is an excellent contender. Don't get me wrong, I'm high on Marco Tulio too. Like, he's a great fighter. I'm just also high on Christian Leroy Duncan. So I would understand if you'd want to put some money on Christian Leroy Duncan for value. I almost put him in the underdog opportunity category, but I don't know what's going to happen in this fight either. This fight, I cannot wait to watch on the card. Stay away from this one. In my opinion, a little bit unpredictable, okay? And continuing on to the fights that I believe you should not be betting on, it's going to be Ricky Simón versus Ioni Barcelos. Ricky Simón has been on a little bit of a roll. He's improving. He's been doing very well. Ioni Barcelos has been looking very good in his fights, and he even, and I don't want to say, fraud check, but fraud checked, as people say, Peyton Talbot. Turned out that wasn't a fraud check, and Ioni Barcelos is actually a very good fighter. We knew that he was a good fighter. It's just oh, wow, that ended up looking pretty good. He's still fighting very well at his old age. He might even have a wrestling advantage in this. I'm interested to see what happens if these two end up exchanging anything that they want to do on the ground. But there is one thing about Ricky Simón that I'm worried about, and that's probably why I'm going to hold off on Ricky for a little while, and it's more to do with his Cameron Smotherman fight. This is something that I opened up about on the full card breakdown, that I'm worried for Ricky, because he willingly, after winning the first 2 rounds with his wrestling, bagging him, all he had to do was continue with the same kind of path to victory. He stood toe-to-toe and started swinging. And kind of threw caution to the wind, and at times I was worried watching Ricky Simón, because I'm always cheering for Ricky Simón. I've placed bets on Ricky Simón. It's worrying when I was sitting there standing and watching him stand up when he had a clear advantage on the ground. And I was thinking, because he's coming off of this Javid Basharat fight where he had all of the shares, everybody was going crazy about Ricky Simón. It was an insane KO. How many times have we seen people, after getting an insane knockout, fall in love with their hands and take more risks like that? And I think it's possible that's what he was doing against Cameron Smotherman. He was winning the fight. He felt like he was pretty hyped up, and he was really going for the kill. And that made me worry for Ricky Simón, on his behalf. I need to start paying attention, or I think we need to start paying attention if this is something that Ricky Simón is going to continue to do. And if that's the case, I don't know if I really trust him with money anymore, because you're starting to gamble with something that when you have a clear advantage somewhere else, why are we standing up? You know what I mean? I'd stay away from this fight as well. I need to see a little bit more of Ricky Simone. Plus, I think it's a little bit of a tough matchup. Let's continue on to the last fight I believe you should be avoiding, and that's going to circle over back to the one Fight Night card. This is just an excellent fight between two excellent Muay Thai contenders, and it's more of the same reason for Christian Leroy Duncan and Marco Tulio, although I don't know what the odds are. I don't know what the underdog, who's going to be the underdog over here, but both guys have been putting on crazy performances, have been looking really good. I cannot wait to watch this fight, and I cannot predict this fight for you because even like when it comes to Johan, like he looks so good in there, but sometimes he just doesn't get the job done. Like they have some excellent fighters over there in one championship, man. I'd stay away from this one as well, but guys, I want to know what you guys think of this one, okay? Let's circle over to Lock of the Week. The Lock of the Week is going to be an underdog, okay? It is Randy Brown. He is my most confident pick on this entire card. When this matchup got made, I was like, oh, Randy Brown's got that. That was my gut reaction to it. And now it turns out he's, at the last time I looked at it, he was a 250 underdog. I think that is, if anything, I believe it to be completely incorrect odds. I can't remember the last time I had an underdog being locked. I do not see him losing this fight. You have Randy Brown, who has taken on, over the years, he has gotten a lot of experience against a lot better fighters than Gabriel Bonfim has taken on. You have a 5-round fight where Gabriel Bonfim has showed difficulties with his cardio. You have Randy Brown. I know MMA math doesn't work, but Randy Brown just had an excellent performance against Nicholas Dalby, and that was the guy who was able to get the one-up on Gabriel Bonfim. Gabriel Bonfim took on some okay fighters. Like, he didn't take on any cans or anything like that. Had this decision against Stephen Thompson where it was very questionable at best. Randy Brown's only recent loss was to Brian Battle, and it was a really, really, really gritty fight. Came back, looked excellent. On top of that, Randy Brown is going to have a significant reach advantage in this fight, and he's one of those guys that uses it well. If Gabriel Bonfim finds himself taking down Randy Brown has shown that he has good instincts and underrated BJJ on the ground. I don't see Randy Brown losing this fight, but he's an underdog, and I don't know if people are going to disagree with me. That's why I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. Am I crazy? Out of everybody on this card, he is legitimately my most confident pick. And it's making me worry because, like, I think I'm the only one thinking that. If you guys see paths to victory for Gabriel Bonfim, like, honestly, I would love to know in the comments. I'm a fight fan before anything. I'm interested in these matchups. I cannot wait to watch this. I just think Randy Brown's got it. I really do. So that is my lock of the week. It's an underdog, and it's going to be Randy Rude Boy Brown. I think he gets the job done, okay? With that being said, let's circle over to the more unstructured part of the video. Let's take a look and see if we have any props available over here on OddsJam. By the way, guys, OddsJam is a partner of the channel. If you guys would like to sign up to OddsJam, you can get a discount with the link in the pinned comment description down below using code Clenbat. Thank you so much, by the way. All right, let's see what we got over here, okay? Over 1.5 for the Josh Hawkins fight is at plus 175. I wouldn't really do that. I don't mind the over 1.5 for Adrian Yanez and Christian Quinones. It's minus 154, maybe a parlay piece, but I'm somebody who hates MMA parlays, okay? Yeah. The Marco Tulio, Christian Leroy Duncan. I could see a finish happening in that one. There's nothing that's really sticking out for me right now. Over 2.5 is possible. If you think that Randy Brown might start Gabriel Bonfim, knock him out, you can get an under 2.5 for plus money there. Under 1.5 could definitely happen for Uzmedic and Muslim Salikov. Definitely happen. I could see a finish happening for that one. Over 2.5, I like for Raoni Barcelos, Ricky Simone at minus 167. That's not bad either. Hyder Milch Emmers. Ooh, I'd be curious what a 1.5 would be for this. I don't love a 2.5, but I can see that. Also, yeah, there's nothing else that really screams out over here. But let's see what we can make for the fun parlay section over here. Guys, of course, this is still the unstructured part of the video. It's kind of just me yapping, and I hate what they did to Betway over here, the interface, for those of you who use Betway. Crazy, okay? Let's do what I do every week, and for those of you who are new on the channel, my sister and I, every single week, we put 10 cents on every single underdog to get the job done. One time at Bellator, we were almost millionaires, and we've been doing it ever since. Let's see what we get over here. Let's put 0.10. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Excuse me. Only $14,000. Only. But let's make some picks over here. Let's make a crazy parlay, okay? We got Adrian Yanez I like. Let's pick Jacqueline Cavalcanti. We're going to pick... Randy Brown. We're going to do that. That is an excellent parlay in itself, but with MMA parlays, something's always bound to go wrong. But let's add to it. Let's make some picks, okay? Let's pick Bonfim. I don't mind him. Let's pick Tisha Torres. Don't mind her. That's a toughie. Christian Leroy Duncan. And we're going to leave it at that. That is a ridiculous parlay for 6 fights, but again, something is bound to go wrong. But let's make something I can go over get you some plus money over here. So Randy Brown by itself is something that I consider betting on. What else do we like over here? I like Jacqueline Cavalcanti, Adrian Yanez together. That's just about plus money. If anything, I don't mind that at all. Okay, but there's certainly some underdog opportunities over here. Certainly, like there's a few things that I would just flat out bet on its own, like Christian Leroy Duncan for that value. I'm still staying away from that. But Tisha Torres at 262, I'm good. That one's like difficult not to bite on. It's gonna be an interesting card. But if anything, you know what? I think a decent parlay that you could do would be Jacqueline Cavalcanti and Adrian Yanez. I think that's the best you're gonna get for like putting a couple favorites together. But guys, if you want to hear me yap about these fights as much as we possibly can, then check out the full card breakdown on screen right here. I'd love to have you over there. Thank you very much for watching the video, guys. Take care, everybody.